Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose, where I strategize with business owners on how to grow and scale their businesses to hit their income goals. This is episode 326 of the Influencer Entrepreneurs Podcast with Jenny Melrose. Today, we're going to be diving into how to boost your confidence. Now, this is the second half of my book, Influencer Entrepreneurs, that 4-step framework for building your audience, growing your business, and making money online. We're continuing with the series that we have been doing. And if you haven't already grabbed the workbook, I want to make sure that you do. It is a free workbook that goes along with the series that we've been doing, that goes along with the book. You can also grab my book on Amazon or your favorite bookstores so that you can read along and do the actual pages with us as you're going through this workbook. You can always go back as well. So make sure that you grab that. Otherwise, we're really going to jump into how to make sure that you can boost your confidence. So the majority of my clients who have found me are usually looking for a step-by-step process, actually, on how to pitch themselves to receive brand sponsorships. An introductory email or pitch is sent to a company or brand in order to secure money in exchange for content that is created about what that brand on your client's platform. A brand sponsorship is forged when a client uses a product or service from a brand and more or less endorses it to their audience. I provide them with that process through my signature course, Pitch Perfect Pro. But what they don't realize is that 50% of the process is actually confidence. If you are lacking confidence in yourself, people will sense that. Have you ever wondered why you're great at talking about your favorite product, but when it's time to talk about you or your product, you're all of a sudden, you start stammering. The words that come out of your mouth do not make any sense. And the person you're talking to actually looks more confused than they did when they first asked you what you did or about your personal product. We as women have a tendency to feel like we are bragging or boasting about ourselves when we talk about what we do. Women who run huge companies and are leaders in their industry will duck from compliments and brush off what they do is just ordinary. Why in the world is that? I personally struggle with this as well. Instead of owning my greatness, I make myself smaller. Even as I wrote that sentence, I second-guessed myself, my greatness. Who am I to say that I'm great? My mom didn't raise me to be boastful. Yes, if I were a man, I would have no problem shouting from the rooftops that I am amazing and that I deserve to be paid more than everyone else because I am the best at what I do. As part of my signature course, Pitch Perfect Pro, it is always the male students who never struggle with their asking prices. One male student stated, "I don't care what industry or strand it is. If they want to work with me, they're going to pay my price. I may not have the same reach as a big influencer, but my photos are awesome." Now, I do want to note that his photos are great, but I've seen better from female students with double his reach, and they were asking for half his price. When we don't have confidence, we settle. We ask for a price that is less than what we deserve. Research shows that men are 4 times more likely to women to ask for a raise. And when women do ask, we typically request 30% less than men do. This was a study done by Carnegie Mellon University economics professor Linda Babcock, who was also the co-author of Women Don't Ask. In a study of 78 master's degree students, she found that just 12.5% of women negotiated for their starting salary versus 52% of men. That leads, by her estimate, to as much as $1.5 million in lost income over the women's career. As entrepreneurs, we create our own glass ceilings. Women make 28% less than their male counterparts do. That's the result of new research by the online accounting company FreshBooks, which surveyed more than 2,700 working people in the United States, both those who worked for employers and for those who were self-employed like you and I. These results are occurring because of our lack of confidence to ask for what we deserve. We need to change this now. Pricing ourselves is a whole other topic. For now, I just want us to be confident in all that we do and to be proud of it. We are female business owners that not only run our business, but also often run a household. We are mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, aunts, and friends. We make the world continue to spin for our families, all while running a business that also provides for them. We don't expect to run our businesses and come home to dinner made and a martini waiting for us. We come home to make the dinner and our own damn martini if that's what we want. I'm not here to bash men or make fun of their sense of entitlement. I am very fortunate to be married to a man who gives me the support and space to run my business. We are on the same page with it. This wasn't always the case, though. It took work and communication. I am showing you the difference between men and women because I want you to stand in your greatness. Own it. Your confidence is something you can improve. We are going to push our confidence to a whole other level in the next couple of weeks, continuing with this series. I really want you to understand this piece about confidence. Confidence to me is similar to a muscle. It is not something you are born with. It is something that you work at. You get better at it. And as you continue to do things, you become more confident in yourself. When I first started podcasting, that very first episode, I cannot tell you how many times I re-recorded it. I can tell you that it took me 8 hours to publish it though, because I didn't know what I was doing. It obviously has gotten easier. We have systems in place. We are able to do these things. Confidence is similar. You put some systems in place for your confidence so that it becomes easier to do whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's emailing your list, creating new content on Instagram Reels, starting a TikTok account, creating an opt-in that you're not sure of if it's the right fit for your audience, or even creating your own first product for your audience. Whatever it may look like for you, as you do more and more of it, you will become more confident. We're going to continue to break this down over the next couple weeks because I do feel that confidence is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. And we want to find ways in which we can boost our confidence so that our businesses can become stronger. Now, I'm not going to tell you you're not going to have that roller coaster ride of dips and lows and highs and feeling sometimes like, why in the heck am I doing this? But you have to remember the moments where someone tells you you have impacted their business. And more recently for me, when I did IEA Summit recently in the beginning of January, I had someone tell me that I impacted her family. That as she sat throughout the entire week listening to all of the trainings, her teenage and adult children started to want to go in and sit around her and listen to the content. She had one of her children actually start a website that very day of sitting there listening as she was listening to the training, going, I can do this. I'm going to start this. That's what my impact is meant to be out there. It is to inspire the young girls in your lives to understand that they can run businesses of their own where there won't be that glass ceiling, where they don't have to negotiate for a salary, but instead they're going to have to know how to price themselves. And that's where we need to make sure that we are developing and boosting our confidence. All right, you guys, if you haven't left a rating and review on your favorite podcasting app, I would so appreciate it. If you are an Apple, it is super easy to do. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom of my podcast episodes. You'll see the little stars there and a spot to leave a review. It really, truly helps me to continue to get great guests to come onto the show, as well as to continue to attract a new audience. So if you take the time to leave a rating and review, I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure that if you haven't already grabbed the workbook that you do so. We will have that, of course, linked in the show notes. It is free for this entire series. And of course, you can also buy the book, which I think is only going to continue to help you put these strategies in place. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you all then.